Hello everyone, it's Andreea and welcome to today's video. I wanted to do a little shop my stash today, and one of my favorite things to do when I am shopping my stash, when I'm just focusing on savoring the makeup that I already own, I like to try on other people's go-to everyday makeup routines. I think it's such a fun way to get that feeling of trying something new without actually physically trying new products. Maybe along the way you discover some new combinations or you rediscover some oldies that you forgot about. It's just a really fun thing to do. So that's what I'm doing today. I've been playing around with this routine and just tweaking it slightly and refining it for my personal skin type. We're talking about Andrea Ali's updated everyday go-to makeup that she posted a few weeks ago. She's a professional makeup artist. She's a celebrity makeup artist. I love following her. I love the way she does makeup on herself, on her clients. It's an aesthetic that really resonates with me. And for this particular makeup routine, she said that, for her, it lasts amazingly all day. It's really beautiful and minimal, perfect for summer. So let's try it on. I obviously don't have all the exact same products that she used, so we will be improvising using what I have in my personal makeup collection, and I'll talk you through some of the tweaks that I did for my particular skin type, because her skin is drier than mine, especially this time of year. It's super hot and humid outside, so I need something that's a little bit more oil controlling. Starting out with sunscreen, and I actually do have the exact same sunscreen that she used. I bought this as soon as it launched because I was just very intrigued by it, and it's the Allies of Skin The One SPF 50 Invisible Sunscreen Gel, and I've really been enjoying this. This is so beautiful under makeup. It kind of has that silicone-y feeling. It's a completely clear gel, but it's not quite as greasy as other similar products that I've tried before, like the Glossier, the Supergoop. Those feel a little more greasy than this. It feels great on the skin, really nice under makeup. I've never had any issues with this pilling. Sometimes with products that are so silicone-y, pilling can be an issue, but with this, I've never had any issues. And as you can see here, it just has a very soft, blurring kind of finish on the skin. It feels like velvet, and it doesn't have any added fragrance. It smells like kind of smells like rubber. It smells like inflatable pool toys. I had always heard about this brand, but this was the first time I ever bought anything from them. And I ran out of my other sunscreen that I was using under makeup, so I thought I would try something new. And I like that this is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. The other sunscreen that I love, the Skin 1004 Centella Sun Serum, that one is so beautiful, but that one is not water resistant. The Skin 1004 Centella Sun Serum feels more hydrating. That one feels more like a lotion, moisturizer, and sunscreen in one. This doesn't feel as hydrating, but this just has that silicone-y, soft focus, almost like a makeup primer type of feeling. Next up is contouring and bronzing. She does the underpainting method, and I dabbled in the underpainting method last year, and I did really enjoy the results, but I fell out of the habit of doing it. I just reverted back to the old order of doing things. It's been fun to play around with underpainting again, and she uses the Westman Atelier stick in the shade Truffle, which is quite warm. It definitely looks more of like a bronzing shade. I only have the shade Biscuit, which is more of a contour shade, but I do have this stick bronzer from Too Faced. I received this in PR, and the color of this and the texture is really nice. This is the Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick in the shade Chocolate Souffle. I think this is the lightest shade. You can see here it's just warmer than the Westman Atelier Biscuit. So I think for this purpose, for me trying to recreate this routine, a product that has a bit more warmth to it will be better. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced stick. It has a beautiful texture. It's very, very balmy, and it's also quite pigmented. The first couple of times I was using it, I applied too much pressure and in turn applied way too much product to my face. This is something that I need to be really light-handed with because it is pigmented. It is intense, but it's very, very lightweight and super easy to blend at the same time. I'm using a very, very light hand, and you can see how much pigment it's depositing, even with just the lightest of strokes. And this smells like dessert. It smells like chocolate fudge. And now I'm just blending it out with the BK Beauty 107 brush. You don't have to be so precise with blending it out because we are going to be covering this up with foundation. I never contour my nose, so this step always makes me a bit nervous. I don't know, I don't like product on my nose. Melts in so beautifully on the skin, and it adds a bit of dimension to the face, a nice bit of warmth. I'm also going to just kind of rub it on my eyelids, whatever's left on the brush. For foundation, Andreea uses Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and when I recreated this look a few days ago, I wore it out to dinner and I used this foundation. It just made me too oily. I can't really wear Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in the summertime. This is definitely a fall winter foundation for me. It looked really, really beautiful, but even though I was only out for about 4.5 hours, I had to blot 3 times. I don't mind blotting, but I have products that I can use instead that I don't have to blot as often with. I'm not going to be using this today. I'm making an executive decision. And instead, I'm using the Givenchy Prisme Libre Concealer. This is such a beautiful product. Not only does it last better in the summer on my skin, but I still get that beautiful lip from within luminous finish that I like about the Armani Luminous Silk, and I get a tiny little bit more coverage. I'm just dotting this in the areas where I didn't apply bronzer. And I'm not double dipping. So this, I'm just using whatever's on the wand from that initial dip of product. And I use this product in the shade N250 and blending it out with my BK Beauty brush. This concealer is just it for me. It's so good. I don't like it under my eyes, but on my face, it's the perfect medium coverage. It's blurring, it's smoothing. It works wonderfully on top of that sunscreen. So then whatever's left on the brush, I go over where I have applied the bronzer just to marry everything. And then I'm going to use a smaller brush for my nose. And then for concealing, I'm using the Haus Labs concealer in shade 21. Whenever I watch professional makeup artists do their own makeup or do makeup on clients, I notice how much lighter handed they are. Even when it comes to the way they hold the brush, sometimes I feel like I'm gripping the brush for dear life, but they're just so, it's all about like very gentle, effortless little strokes, building things up in layers very gently. It's something I try to be mindful of, but you know, when you're in a rush, just trying to live your life, sometimes you forget. Andreea uses the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder in shade number 3. This is the same powder that I use to set my under eye concealer every single day. This is one of my favorite products on the planet. I take a little triangle powder puff from Amazon and I'm just pressing it under my eyes to set that under eye concealer. Now she uses this powder to set her entire T-zone, and I don't like to do that. Sometimes I do it, but if I want better oil control in the summertime, this powder gives me better results. This is the Florasis powder, the Gorgeous Peach Blossom powder. This is the, they have tinted versions of it. This is just the translucent one. If you were a fan of the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra powder, this is very, very similar to that. Just really great oil control, very, very, very airy and soft. If you have dry skin or dry patches, this tends to emphasize dryness. So this is more of an oily skin powder. Then she uses this Tom Ford powder. It's almost like a neutral bronzer with a sheen. It looks very beautiful. I know my friend Vanessa raves about that powder as well. I keep meaning to get it to try it, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that Tom Ford will release these powders individually, because I know I won't use the light part of it. I just want that dark part. I'm just going to use my Chantecaille bronzer in the shade Sirena. This also has a really beautiful soft sheen. This is more warm than the Tom Ford product that she's using, but this does give me that really beautiful, soft, diffused look. For blush, Andreea uses this really beautiful soft pink shade from the Armani Neo Nude collection. In order to get something a little bit closer to the color that she's using, I'm just going to mix two blushes. I have Buxom Dolly. This is Cheeky Dolly. So this is the cream version of Buxom Dolly, which is a really, really beautiful blush. And this formula is very pigmented, very balmy, but it's long wearing, it's not dewy, it sets, which I really, really appreciate. So I'm going to mix this with Ciele June, because this by itself would be a bit too warm. So if I mix it, I'm thinking if I mix it with Ciele June, the combination of the two will be closer to the shade that Andreea uses. So I'm just going to mix them on the back of my hand first, and then work it into my brush, and then stamp it on my cheeks. This is a Jones Road Everything brush. It's very, very dense. This is nice for stamping the color, but when it comes to actually blending it out, I'm just using my foundation brush. And then whatever's left on the brush, I love this trick, just using it across the brow bone. It really marries the look together, and then you don't have to worry about wearing eyeshadow. For eyebrows, I'm just going to brush them up and fill them in with the Victoria Beckham pencil. And then I'm using my Kosas brow gel to add a little bit of volume and hold. Then to finish the eyes, there's no other eyeshadow involved, just mascara. On most days, I haven't even been applying mascara, if I'm honest. It's just been too hot. Too hot and too humid, so one less thing to worry about in the heat. I'm using the Kitten Lash Mascara from Eldridge. This mascara gives the most beautiful fluttery volume. And I also still love the Tower 28 mascara. I got this in brown, and honestly, I like the brown even better than the black. So nice for every day. I'm going to also add a tiny little bit of the Victoria Beckham Brightening Waterline Pencil. I just love the look of a brighter waterline on me, so I'm adding this to the mix. For the lips, she just uses two different lip liners instead of a full-on lipstick, which is honestly something that I've never done. I don't think I've ever just let my lips go with lip liner. I always feel the need to add a balm or a gloss or a lipstick on top. So this has been a fun little deviation. So one of the lip liners is more of a contour shade, and the other one just adds a bit more color to the lips. So for my lip contour shade, I'm taking the NYX lip liner in the shade Los Angeles. And then filling the lips with a slightly more pink shade. This is the Giorgio Armani number 12 lip liner. Then she takes a cream highlighter. I believe the one she's using is by Victoria Beckham. This one from Ma Beauty. It's the M98 Highlight Balm. This is a similar shade to Merit Kava. So she just applies highlighter in the center of the lips for dimension. If I'm honest, I don't like this on me. Maybe because my lips are just not as plump as hers. I don't like this. I'm going to take my trusty Clarins Lip Oil and put it on top. She talks about a Guerlain lip oil that she loves in the video, which I would love to try at one point, but I'm currently at capacity with lip glosses and lip oils, so until I finish something, it's gonna have to wait. She also used that highlighter on the tops of her cheeks. I'm not going to do that because in a couple hours, as my skin will start producing oil, I will have that look naturally anyway, so I didn't put any powder at the tops of my cheeks for that purpose because I will just let my natural oil production do the talking. So one of the great perks of having oilier skin is that you save money on highlighter because you just kind of produce your own. Then I'm going to take my Ciele powder. This is the Ciele finishing powder. This is still going. This is my project pan. It's a great finishing powder. It's great for smoothing. So sometimes I like to just go over areas of my skin where I have more texture and I sweep this across. This powder has no oil control, but it does do a nice job at adding some smoothing. So this is the final look, and with the little tweaks that I've made, this is long wearing for me. I can wear this all day long, 8, 9, 10 hours, and I maybe have to blot once. I think last time I did this, I only had to blot once in the middle of the day. The rest of the time, it was beautiful. I really like that it's quite minimal. That way you can have a lot of fun with accessories, you can have a lot of fun with your outfit, and the makeup look will just kind of go with anything you pair it with. So that's today's look, inspired by a wonderful, talented professional makeup artist. I'm going to link her original tutorial below. It's a really fun way to shop your stash and discover some new makeup combinations. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you end up trying this look. Let me know if you end up making any variations of it. I'll be chatting with you in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.